This is a 7-year-old. It sounds like a 2.5-year-old or maybe a 3-year-old. It's a little unusual to see this much stuff coming out of a 7-year-old. I'd have to ask a few questions, and so if you said it would be all right to ask some questions. Is this a characteristic from early age, as in 12 months, 18 months, you saw a lot of temper?
Yes.
Yeah. That's the usual. This tells you that likely you don't have an emotional issue in a moment. If you had a child, for instance, who was going, a 6-year-old is in pretty good shape, a 7-year-old is in pretty good shape, and all of a sudden it starts like this. Usually this is a symptom of something that's changed. There's been some kind of a interruption in the child's life that the child doesn't know emotionally how to deal with, and this is just the way it works now, is I've lost it. And she says, you don't listen to me is a clue that I need to listen to you. I need to figure out what you're talking about, and what is it that's disturbing you that causes you to lose it like this. But if you have a child who's this 18-month-old is doing this, and 2-year-old's doing this, and 3-year-old's doing this, this gets into the concept of the terrible twos, which some of you may have heard of. The terrible twos become the terrible threes if you don't deal with the terrible twos. That's a truth. You can put that on a bumper sticker if you like. Dealing with this has to do with primarily, first of all, keeping your own sense of humor about it, and remembering that you're dealing with a little person who has a very short fuse. People who have more than one child commonly comment that the two children have different temperaments. That one child is high-strung, the other child is compliant. True?
Yes.
Yes, that's true. I hear that all the time. Why is this other kid this way? If my first child was this way, I'd have never had the second child.
Yes.
I was afraid you'd say that. Okay. On the other hand, sometimes the first child is this way, and the second child is not this way, and parents don't even know what to do with it. They've never seen a child. They didn't know children came like this as a compliant child. They've never seen one before. It's okay. It's nothing to be alarmed about that children have different temperaments. The compliant child commonly is a child who can easily be taught. Is a child who you can turn right into a student, who will learn from you. And therefore you can make a lot of progress with this stuff. The defiant child, on the other hand, is a child that is, the whole issue is about, will you agree that I'm in charge? No, thank you very much. And that's where it stops. That's the end of it. I got nothing else to say. I do not agree you're in charge. Please talk to the hand. I'm not home. She says that you don't listen to her, Mom, and you would say the same thing. She doesn't listen to me. What does that mean, that you don't listen to me? It means something, and I'm not sure what it means yet. I can tell you this, I'm not going to find out from a child who's hitting the floor and throwing things at people. I will not find out what she's trying to say if she's doing that. I've got to stop that. Stopping that is the project. Once I've stopped it, then I can find out more about what it's about. But I've got to get control of the situation first. This is similar to a policeman walking into a barroom brawl, and he walks over to this guy and says, "Excuse me, sir, I hope you're not about to throw that chair across the room. And you over there with the bottle, what are you going to do with that bottle?" I think I'd think about it before I'd hit anybody over the head with it if I were you. That's not the way a policeman stops the brawl. He pulls out his 6-shooter and puts a shot through the ceiling and says, "Everybody up against the wall," and everybody gets up against the wall, and now we'll sort out what happened at the brawl. You've got to get order before you can do anything else. You have to bring order to the whole thing. But even before that, I'd like to challenge you this way, and that is this. These are predictable things. You speak. That's what starts it, is you speak. You've got this wonderful piece of information. I know how to start a war around here. All I got to do is say something. That'll start a war. If I don't speak, what happens to wars? I don't know. I've never seen what happens to wars if I don't speak. I can tell you this, if you want to stop wars, that's how you stop them, is you don't speak. Is there such a thing as, I need a volunteer. Could you volunteer? Now, I'm not going to tell you. Come on. I'm not going to tell you what I want you to do. But you're going to show the parents how to do it. Okay? Thank you very much. You must. What did I want her to do?
Hand you the pen.
To take the pen,
Oh, take them.
right? Did I say anything to her? What did I want her to do next? Give me the pen back. What did I say? How did that work? How did that work? Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? We know intuitively, by age 7, we know intuitively what's going to be done around here. We've been around here long enough. We know what goes on around here by age 7. And we don't need to say things anymore. Things just happen around here at age 7. And the speaking of command is not necessary. It's the speaking of command that brings on a temper tantrum. Would your simply speaking in a voice that was not about a command, would that bring on a temper tantrum? Tell me an example of that. I'm saying not a command now. If you just say something pleasant to your child, would that bring on a temper tantrum?
No.
No, it wouldn't. So here's something pleasant. Could you and I talk a minute? Would that bring on a temper tantrum? There's something that's really been, I've been thinking about a lot, and I just wanted to talk to you about it. Would that bring on a temper tantrum? No. So we're doing fine so far. Yesterday, when I told you to do something, do you remember what happened? What? A little edgy now. Well, you said that I don't listen to you when you got mad. Remember, you said I don't listen to you, and I was wondering what you meant by that. Do you think I don't listen to you? No. Probably, by the way, no. That's probably not a thought. That's not a thought. That's a reflexive statement, probably. I think there's a very good chance you listen to your child. But I don't know what the answer is going to be. I'd like to know what the answer is. If you think I don't listen to you, that would be very important information for me to know, that you think I don't listen to you. Because I don't want to be a parent who doesn't listen to his child. I'd like for you to think that I listen to you. Okay, so the kid says, yes, you don't listen to me. I say, can you give me an example of that? Well, it happened the other day when blah, blah, blah. And you said blah, blah, blah. Oh, you know I said that. Yeah, I listened to you. That's what you said. I heard you say that. This would be how this conversation would go. I'm not trying to pick a fight. I'm just having a conversation. You think I don't listen to you, but actually I heard everything you said. And this is what you said, blah, blah, blah. Don't you remember? Yeah, but what I meant was blah, blah, blah. Now, you didn't tell me that's what you meant. That's important to me if that's what you meant, because that's not what it sounded like you meant. Now, this would be a communication issue you and I have. And I would like very much to work on our communication so that we don't have this kind of problem talking. Now, I'm speaking a 7-year-old language right now. I'm speaking to you all as parents, but I'm saying at a 7-year-old level, I'd be using the words the child would be familiar with and trying to say, I want to be able to speak to you in a way that's effective. I would like for you to speak to me in a way that's effective so that we understand each other. That's one thing I'd like to say to you. And another thing I'd like to say is this. I think I cause your trouble a lot of times by telling you no, by telling you commands. You say you get these brain glitches. Brain glitches. Yeah, you said you get brain glitches, remember? Yeah. She doesn't know you heard him. I heard you say you get brain glitches. And I think I cause your brain glitches. Well, yeah. Yeah. And I want to try to figure out how to not cause your brain glitches anymore. Really? Well, do we have an argument yet? No, we don't have an argument yet. We're having a conversation. Okay. Hey, listen, that's your knowledge. That's your knowledge. This is not the time to point that out. This is not the time to point that out. I'm trying to get into a conversation with her that's going to work. I'm trying to render her teachable right now. I've got her so far. She's staying with me right now. You said that you're getting brain glitches. I wonder whether I caused your brain glitches. Well, yeah, Mom, you caused my brain glitches. Good. I want to try to not cause your brain glitches anymore. I've got an idea about how to do that. I think I cause your brain glitches by telling you what to do. What do you think? Well, duh. Good. And so then, if I just stopped telling you what to do, probably wouldn't have any more brain glitches. Really? Yeah, that makes sense. Of course, that's not going to happen. No, I didn't say it was going to happen, I just said it probably would have more brain glitches. But what I do think I can do is I can help you to receive my instruction in a way that you don't get brain glitches. Really. Yeah, an example would be, let's say yesterday, it was 5:30 in the afternoon, and I was fixing supper, and you were in front of the TV watching your favorite show. I knew that your show was going to be over at 6 o'clock. I fixed supper to be ready at 5:45. That wasn't real smart. That wasn't real smart. I should either do something about the fact that your show is not a good show to be watching and you have to leave in the middle of it, or I should fix supper so that it's ready at a time that's more convenient for you. Those are things I could do. I could do that, and we could avoid a brain glitch if we did that, maybe. I'd like to try to help you with your brain glitches. Would it help you if we had supper at 6 rather than 5:45? I don't know. Well, because it seems to me like you get all upset because you have to leave the TV show. Yeah, that's true. But you know what? Is the show at 6 o'clock I like to watch too. You're right. So here we go. It's always something. Yeah, the brain glitches come on no matter what, almost all the time, no matter what happens. The brain glitches are going to come. I don't care what you do, the brain glitches are going to come. So then we got to get a different way to do this then. I tell you what, I'm going to work with you on the brain glitches thing by trying to help you to think through, because when you have a brain glitch, what you're really saying is that you can't think well, right? That's what a brain glitch is, I guess. Is that right? That's what a brain glitch is? You can't think very well? Okay, I'm going to try to help you to think well when I tell you what to do. Well, how would that work? Well, you're in front of the TV set, it's going to be supper in 10 minutes, so I'll come in and sit down beside you, put my arm around you and give you a kiss and say, hello buddy, how's TV show going? It's fine, thank you very much. Good. I just want you to know that in a few minutes it's going to be supper time, and I'll be calling you to supper. You know what? You could have a brain glitch when I call you. I'm trying to help you not have one. See you later, and leave. Brain glitch there or not? Probably not. Probably not. Kid's got a warning. Brain glitch is coming. You want to do something about it or not? You want to do something about it or not? So come in a couple of minutes later, sit down beside the kid again and say, remember now, supper's just a few minutes now, and we're telling you to come in just a few minutes. I really hope you won't go nuts, okay? And leave again. This just takes seconds. And think of what you're avoiding if it works. Think of what you're avoiding. And now it's time for the showdown. When it's time for the showdown has to be clear. I'm the guy that's in charge. And you have to take the time to disabuse him of the condition of the way things are. He thinks this is the way things are. And you say, oh no, this is the way things are. You have to get this across to him. This is the way things are. How do you do that? Walk in the room and stand in front of him, turn down the volume and say, honey, it's time for supper. You don't need to yell. Just say it's time for supper. Please come to the kitchen now. That's the command. Please come to the kitchen. I've given her lots of preparation. I have a brain glitch. And she does it anyway. Right? What do you do about brain glitches at that point? You can. I got nothing to say about it. I don't discuss brain glitches. You've got to get control. You've got to get control. And you're going to get control in a place where you're safe and bored and lonely. Safe and bored and lonely. Until you get control. What about supper? Supper's irrelevant to me. This is not about supper. This is about your response to my authority. You do not respond to my authority, and until you respond to my authority, I got nothing else to do with you. You put your hand up and say, talk to the hand, and I've got a policy. I do not talk to hands, and you owe me an apology. That's all I got to say about hands, is I do not talk to hands, and you owe me an apology. And I'll wait for it. What is an apology? An apology is a realignment. It's always a realignment. It's the purpose of apology is realignment. Here's authority. Here's unresponsiveness to authority. Here's apology. Now I can get something done. And if I don't get this, I'm talking about contrite apology. If I don't get this, I got nothing. And I just gotta wait. I can't make it happen. We're speaking of true contriteness now. True contriteness. And I think this is a belief that I have. I hope you all can run with it. And that is, I believe there's no one that has insight into a child's heart like a parent. I believe that parents know a contrite heart when they see it, and they don't know an insincere apology when they hear it too. It's one of the, I think it's a huge mistake to say to a child, well, you don't sound sorry to me. I wouldn't say that to a child. I'd say, no, you're not. Go back to your room. I would identify to him, you're not sorry. Sorry is an emotion that I can sense as a parent. You can read your child accurately, and you must believe that. You can read your child accurately. You can see his little heart. He's sorry, he's not sorry. If he's not sorry, he doesn't come out of there until he's sorry. I'm not being cruel to him. I'm still giving him breakfast, lunch, and supper. The electricity's still being paid. There's still a blanket on his bed. He got all the privileges of whatever it is in his little dungeon in there. But on the other hand, I'm not associating with him until I hear it. I want you to tell me you're sorry. And I want you to tell me, at 7 years old now, you tell me what you're sorry about. I shouldn't have talked to you that way. Good. When we're sorry is when we do the next thing. And what the next thing is practice. The issue of becoming sorry, getting back aligned to the authority, precedes the practice. Your problem is you don't know how to receive my authority without having a temper tantrum. Now, where this happened was you were in front of the television set. It was 5:45 when this happened. It's now 7:30. That's all right. It's now 8:30. It's now 9:30, and tomorrow's a school day. Somewhere along the way, I'd say, this is over with. I'll see you tomorrow. Don't come out of your room till I tell you to. Because the isolation's not over with just because the sun goes down. The fellowship is off, not by my choice, by your choice. You don't want the fellowship. I'm not giving you the fellowship. You say talk to the hand, and I don't talk to hands. I'm through with you. And you'll have to figure out what to do without me now. I'm just 20 feet away. I haven't gone anywhere. It's you that's gone away, not me. I'm still here. You're the guy that's gone away. This is your idea. And tomorrow morning, I come down and say, it's time to get up. You still owe me an apology. It's time you have to go to school today. When you come home, be sure you go right to your room. Be sure you go right to your room when you come home. Unless you're ready to say you're sorry. If I ever hear you say you're sorry, I'm going to teach you to obey me. So whenever that happens, how do you teach you to obey? Well, you were there, I was here, and I said, you come to supper. Do I need supper to give a command to come to supper? Do I need supper? Or could I say, come to supper, and there's no supper at all? Yes, I could say that. I don't need supper to say, come to supper. And so it's now 4 o'clock in the afternoon. The kid says he's sorry, she's sorry. She sits there, I say here and say, come to supper. She gets up, goes to the table. Great, go have a seat again. Come to supper. She gets up, goes in, and have a seat. Say, great, go have a seat again. Come to supper. And I'm practicing her. I'm giving her the command. She's not going nuts. She's coming to supper when I tell her to. This is called practice. This is what she needs practice in, is to receive your command. Do you see that? It's not about supper. It's about receiving your command. I'm doing everything I can to help her receive my command. I'm trying not to give command. I'm trying not to give command. I'm giving command with preparations. I'm about to give you a command, but I haven't given it yet. But I'm about to give it. I want you to get ready for it. I want you to think through, get ready for it. I'm giving commands clearly. I'm not saying, will you please come to supper? That's not a command, that's a question. I'm not saying it's time to come to supper. That's not a command, that tells you what time it is. You all understand it? Mm-hmm. Here's the command, come to supper.